Hello, and welcome to the MMA Mic Drop Podcast. My name is Jade Bunky, and I'm joined by the one and only MMA Milo, who is not only an emerging MMA analyst, but one of the nation's top up-and-coming amateur surfers. In today's episode, we're going to provide you with the definitive, the absolutely most accurate pound-for-pound rankings in the UFC. Why are they more accurate than what's listed on the UFC site? I have no idea, but they just are, so believe me. And we're also going to bring back a listener favorite, Kicking It with Milo, and you have no idea what we're going to discuss, so you've got to stick around to watch it. It's going to be fascinating. But first up, Milo, let's talk about the pound-for-pound rankings. You and I are going to create a list of who we think are the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. I think the UFC has it wrong. I believe it's media members that vote on it. But why don't you tell me what the rankings are and tell me if you agree with them.
The top 5 is Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev, Merab Dvalishvili, Khamzat Chimaev, Alexandre Pantoja.
Do you agree with that?
Most of it I do, but there's some things I would change around.
Really? So interesting. I completely disagree with that. I don't think Merab should be anywhere near a top 10 pound for pound. Great champion, but he's too, he doesn't do everything well, right? So when I look at pound for pound rankings, I'm looking at people who are well-rounded, right? Because the idea is if everybody was the same size, and that means it comes down to that well-roundedness, the skill set. If Merab is not a really good striker, you get somebody who's a really good grappler and a really good striker he doesn't stand a chance against. That's, kind of where I'm going. Like, so if we're looking at everybody at, say, 170, if Tom Aspinall shrunk down to 170 and Pantoja, grew to 170 or, weighed in at 170, how good would he be relative to everybody else and so forth? That's kind of the lens through which I'm looking before I start my rankings.
Nah.
How about you?
I think, yeah, I don't
Just
think
not at all. So what do you think?
that, like, if you look at pound for pound, like, you're, like, looking at it, then all, the featherweight guys, and the lightweight guys, the smallest guys would be, like, the best guys, because, like, shorter man skill or, like, smaller man skill. You ever heard of that?
Are you saying because they're more well-rounded?
Yeah, they have to be, because when they're in camp and stuff, they're always like the smallest guy, so they're always having to make up for like their size by skill.
So yeah, and that's a good point. And so when you look at pound for pound, it doesn't have to be equally distributed across different weight classes to make a rankings. It might be more heavily weighted, pun intended, for the lower classes because like you said, maybe those are the guys that are more well-rounded, right? Because of necessity, right? And so with that said, we have our criteria. Let's get started. Pound for pound, number 1, this should be pretty obvious. I think I might get an agreement out of you. I do agree with UFC's ranking on this. I mean, it is Ilia Topuria. He's coming off 3 straight early finishes of Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, just finishing a list of all-time greats. He is good everywhere. He has that, he has the speed, the power. He's good on the ground. He's, good on his feet. He is so complete and he is dominant in each of those areas in which he competes. Do you agree? Who do you have? Do you have him number 1 or do you have somebody else? All right. And what is he? Is he 16-0 now or 17-0? He is an absolute, yeah, he's an absolute beast. And I agree with the UFC on that. I have number 2. I have Chimaev. He's 14-0. He has finished everybody except 2 people. He's been absolutely dominant. He's a relentless grappler. He's got those quick entries. He's so hard to defend against. And he's got that crazy power. We saw what he did to Gerald Meerschaert. But if you even look before he entered the UFC, who was it? Was it Aliskerov? He just destroyed him with 1 punch. I'm going with number 2.
I disagree.
Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Tell me why.
Because he doesn't even have a title defense yet. and he's almost lost fights. He's gassed out, and I don't know.
I don't say he's almost lost. I mean, he's
Yeah.
had two close fights. His fight against Gilbert Burns was, I mean,
Well, like,
Gilbert Burns
how is
is one of the
Merab
best
not or
fighters in the world at that
Islam
time.
Merab not like? How are they not number 2 and 3?
Good question.
Well,
Too
what do you
one
mean?
dimensional, right? So it goes to well
Islam
rounded.
knocked out Volkanovski. Merab rocked Henry Cejudo. Well, he rocked or didn't rock. He definitely hurt Sean O'Malley. Hit him with some good shots.
So how many
He
finishes
has
does
one.
Merab have?
He has one outside of the UFC.
He has
He
five.
knocked somebody out.
He has five. I believe he's like 20-4. He has 5 finishes, 15 decisions, and even though he gets an occasional finish, he's a decision machine. Go ahead.
Khamzat's had a lot of decisions too lately. Yeah, 2.
He's had 2, ever. That's not a lot.
How's it? He's
it's just
boring that last fight was so boring with yeah.
I mean, but it was so dominant. I mean,
He just laid on top of him.
I mean, he demonstrated a high and punched him like 200 times. I mean, did the smart baby taps, but they were working it. Dude, he crucified him, like 3 or 4 times? And that, like, you don't even see fighters do that once in a fight. He was doing that over and over again. Now, granted, the way that Chimaev can lose is by somebody who can outstrike him, right? He's not the most – what he's got is crazy power. He doesn't have the best technical acumen there. And to answer your question, why not Merab and why not Makhachev? Makhachev, both guys are great champions. Both guys are fun to watch. Makhachev, though, he's an elite level grappler, but he's an okay striker. So if you have everybody that's the same weight,
what high level guy has Khamzat
that are good in
what like high level guy has Khamzat knocked out? It's been a long time.
Was it what's his name? Ask.
He wasn't even ranked.
No, that was Gerald Meerschaert. True. I mean, it's kind of a fair point because, I mean, Chimaev doesn't have a long history of fighting elite level fighters in the UFC. That is true, right? He's fought just a couple. Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, DDP. But when you look at how quickly he gets you to the ground and how quickly he gets into a dominant position, who could prevent those takedowns? And if it stays on the feet, he does have one punch knockout power. Well, that's the weight in which he competes. That's a pretty big deal. He would not
have been champion in welterweight when he competed there.
I know you think.
I think you
Shavkat, right?
He would have lost. He would have lost to most of the guys in the division. Not most, and I think he would have lost to.
Well, he wasn't. Ooh, I don't know about that. It would. I think Shavkat would have been an interesting matchup for him. That would have been a really interesting matchup for him. But I think he's top 2 or 3 there. Okay, so who's your number 2 then?
I have Islam. Well,
Islam. Okay,
he
why?
Has a better resume. He has a good resume, and I would have him number 1, but he hasn't fought in a long time. So
you think if they were the same size? Well, I mean, they might fight. So I guess this because they're only a weight class now, 2 weight classes apart. You think Islam beats Topuria? Then how do?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you have him after him. Okay. Topuria is. Yeah. No. And look, Islam's a great fighter. He is in my top 5. I'm not going to tell you where he falls into that because he is so dominant as a grappler. But number 3, I'm going to give it to somebody who's been overlooked for quite some time, finally getting a little bit of love. I'm giving Pantoja. It goes back to that well-roundedness and dominance within a division. He is absolutely dominating the flyweight division, even at age 35. Look at what he did to Kai Kara France. Not even on the same level. Not even on the same level of most of the guys against whom he's competed. I think he's on an 8-fight win streak. And let me take a look. I think if you look at the number of finishes he has, I mean, it's pretty incredible for his weight class. for
First,
fight.
he has 12 wins by submissions and 8 wins by knockout. So 20,
He,
yeah,
yeah, and
finishes.
yeah, and out of 20 finishes,
30,
out of how
yeah.
many wins? Is
30.
it like 30? I know he has a lot of fights. Yeah, so I got to go with him. He's just so good everywhere, and he's just, you know, I mean, he's beating the best of the best, and he's doing it very convincingly in his weight. So that's number three. Who do you
Number 3, I
have?
have
Number
Merab.
three. Okay, tell
Well,
me why.
because he's like destroyed the entire division, and
He is
he
dominant. He
beat
is
Umar,
dominant.
who I think beats everybody else in that division besides him. And
That's a good point.
Umar's super well rounded. He's a good wrestler, and he's like an elite striker.
That's a good counterpoint. Yeah. I think the problem with that is he gassed. He looked better in that first round, Umar. But then this is part of the part where I guess you do got to credit Merab and add this to, if everybody was the same size, he's the guy that would have the best cardio
Yeah.
because he has the best cardio in the UFC. So that would carry that. If the cardio is a thing. All right, so you have, yeah, I can't put him there just because the lack of striking acumen, but you're right. He did beat Nurmagomedov, and that is a pretty crazy win. Because I was picking the other way on that. So, okay. Number 4. This one's going to shock you. I don't think you're ready for it. Tom Aspinall. He is good everywhere. Elite level jiu-jitsu, good wrestling, earth-shattering power. I mean, he touches you, you go down. He's probably the second quickest guy in his division, and that's only because heavyweight spans like 60 pounds. And I'd say the only guy that's a little quicker might be Gelton Almeida, who's around 230, and Tom Aspinall's around 255. And let's see, every UFC fight, first of all, he has a 100% finish rate. Every UFC fight he has won except one that was due to injury. And he's finished everybody with the exception of one fighter in the first round. And you look at like how he subbed um, Volkov and how he just finishes these big, big dudes who are dominant in certain areas. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating. I would put him number 4. And now that John Jones is out of the way, watch Tom Aspinall to go on a tear like we've never seen in the heavyweight division. I think he is a generational talent. Who do you have at number 4? And do
I
you agree or
disagree with
disagree with mine?
yours. For number 4, I have um, Magomed Ankalaev.
Really? Okay, actually, that's okay.
Um,
Tell me why.
the way like he just like dominated Pereira, who was like, do you know how long Pereira's win streak was before that? I'm pretty sure it was really long, but he just dominated him, and that Pereira wasn't Pereira pound for pound number 3.
Yeah. Now, see, and this is a thing where I wouldn't put Pereira pound for pound because elite
Yeah,
striker, not a great grappler. But with that said, he
he outstroked him, so
Ankalaev beat him
he
on the
has to be
feet.
well rounded. Yeah,
Yeah, that was shocking, and I was surprised with Pereira's low output. That was the thing that was really problematic. He just didn't throw enough volume. So I'm curious if he throws more volume, what that would be. But the thing where I mean, I could see a legitimate case for Ankalaev where you have him because he's
yeah.
he's a good grappler too. He's good. He's good everywhere. So that's a fair. I'm not going to critique that one. Number 5, Islam Makhachev. Um, I know a lot of people are probably going to go crazy over this one, placing him so low. Look, a great champ. He's been dominant. He's been dominant over good guys. You saw what you even put when you put like a good fighter, but not a great fighter, like Moicano against him, where it's just such a big mismatch. And I remember that sub early, before his title run, where against Dan Hooker, so quick, so easy. He's elite, and that's why he is in the top 5. There are holes in his striking, and that's where I can't put him above the guys above him who are more complete. But you do got to, there's something to be said about dominating an entire division. Although I still think there's still a few fights to be made for him, even at lightweight, whether it's Ilia Topuria or others.
Number
Who
5,
would
I
you have
have
number 5?
Alexandre Pantoja.
Okay.
Well, He's
Tell me
just
why.
like really well rounded. He's on a huge win streak, and he's like finishing people too, like submitting them. He's doing it
Yeah,
fast, like first round and stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, just because he's been dominant.
yeah. He's showing that there's a
Yeah.
level between him and everybody else in the division. It is pretty amazing. So yeah, number five, that makes sense as well. Even though I have him a little higher. We're going to go to the kicking it with Milo section, but first, write down if you agree with my listing or if you agree more with Milo's listing, or if you have your own listing. All right, now the kicking it with Milo section. Milo, I talked to your dad yesterday, and he said you
Oh,
shot a double leg on him. Do you want Do you want
true.
to talk about what happened?
Mm-hmm.
He got you in a guillotine, right?
Nothing.
Then what happened?
Yeah.
Nothing. He
Mm-hmm.
said you didn't. You refused to tap.
Nothing
What
happened.
happened after that?
Then you just let go.
Like nothing,
No,
as
yeah,
in
I
darkness,
did
like
not
you
go to
went to
sleep.
sleep?
I was just nah.
You were
He
pretty
just
close
couldn't
though,
choke
huh?
me. I let him.
You let him. He said he finally had to let go because you wouldn't stop fighting and you wouldn't
Yeah,
tap.
he just didn't have it very tight. He was just squeezing my neck.
Well, I think you should have went with the striking instead of the double leg. I think you
Yeah,
can light
true,
him up
true.
pretty quickly with the striking. Awesome. Well, that's all I have. Milo, do you have a
All right.
last word? We're out.